I'm Mike Postma. I'm the Director of Strategy at Wonder. Steven actually introduced me to NAC when I was working as a programmer at another agency. And he was working as an art director at the time, and I really wasn't doing anything in advertising in the creative space. I was just purely on the executional side of things. And the first competition we did together, and then we've been submitting every year ever since. Pretty good. We've had our fair share of wins, fair share of losses too. But yeah, we take something out of it every year that we submit. We won gold for a brief for Simons a few years ago. They really wanted to make a statement and show the world that they're all about sustainability and getting rid of non-sustainable fashion. We came up with the idea to essentially launch a limited run, which is a very well-known concept in the fashion world. But our limited run took essentially whatever was left of their non-sustainable or less sustainable fashion line, and we put a finite number on it and said we're not making any of those anymore. So we have 62 of these sweaters left, and as each one of them gets sold, the countdown is basically on and it ticks down to zero. And then once we hit zero, we're all sustainable. We called it the discontinued collection, and yeah, it did really well. Oh, it feels good every single time. You submit obviously with gold being the goal, but it's such a fierce competition that you never quite know what everybody else would have landed on. It's a lot of fun to see the results, whether you win or not, just to see where everyone else's head went. I think that is really what makes NAC so unique in terms of a creative competition, is that everybody's working off of the same brief. Whether you win or not, you get to just see how everybody else approached the problem, and you can learn a ton of stuff just from that alone. I get a lot of my ideas in the morning in the shower. That's just where my brain kind of works optimal. And yeah, that idea is actually a shower idea, funny enough. Where does it come from? I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know where these things come from, and it's they just kind of appear when you're in that state where you're not overthinking stuff. When it comes to creative competitions like NAC, it often helps to get to a space where you can kind of switch that up and just not overthink it and really just observe the world and let that influence what you're doing. I would say don't limit yourself. Really kind of go beyond the brief almost. And what helps for me is to read that brief several times, space it out. So read it one day, think about it, read it again the next day. And I even go as far as to rewrite the brief in my own words and really even expand on it. I always kind of blow the brief up and go beyond it and see if I can find something in other industries and other things that kind of relate to that brief.